Hi friends, welcome back to our reading. Today we are going to be reading chapter 4 from Junie B. Jones is Not a Crook. So let's look at our picture here and think about who was in our chapter. Now before I show the picture, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about who was in the chapter yesterday that we learned about. That's right, Junie B. Jones was in the chapter and her two friends, Grace and Lucille. Let's talk a little bit about what happened in this chapter yesterday. So Junie B. Jones finally got her mittens back from Mrs. and she was so excited to wear them and go play outside, except her mittens did not match the color of her horse. How sad. And so they had to think of a way to make that work together. And Junie B finally had the idea to make the story that her horse had also received some mittens. So they played and they played until Junie B Jones got so hot. And she took the mittens off, except when she went to go pick them up at the end of recess, what had happened? Her mittens were stolen. Let's find out what happens next in Chapter 4. Chapter 4, No Teddy Backpack. I runned all around the tree. Call 911, call 911, I hollered. Somebody stole them, somebody stole my mittens. Mrs. came very quick. They stole them, 911, I shouted some more. Mrs. bended down next to me. Who stole them, Junie B? Who? She asked. A stealer, that's who. A stealer stole them. And so what kind of a school even is this? Because I didn't even know there was crooks in this place. Mrs. said, calm down my voice. Yeah, only I can't calm it down that good because I am heartsick. That's why. Heartsick is the grown-up word for when your heart is sick. And I looked at the ground real sad. Now all I have left is my dumb, attractive jacket. Mrs. picked it up and she holded my hand and me and her started to walk. You and I are going to the office, she told me. I tried to grab my hand away from her. No, Mrs., no, I'm not allowed to go there. Mother said if I got sent into the office one more time, I will get grounded, young lady. Tears came to my eyes. Grounded, young lady, is when I have to stay on my own ground, I said. Plus, I can also go on the rug. Mrs. smiled. I'm not taking you to the principal's office to punish you, Junie B, she said. I'm taking you to find your mittens. I did a gasp. Principal? I asked, very shocked. Principal stole my mittens? Mrs. laughed out loud. No, Junie B, he didn't steal your mittens. The office is where the lost and found is located. After that, she took my hand again and we hurried up to the office. There was a grouchy lady typing at that place. I am not fond of her. Junie B needs to look through the lost and found, Mrs. told her. Please send her back to class when she's finished. Then Mrs. went back to room 9 and left me there all by myself. The typing lady looked over the counter at me. I did a gulp. Yeah, only I'm not even bad today, I explained, very nervous. Somebody stole my mittens, and that is the end of my tale. The lady kept on looking at me. She didn't say any words. Sweat came on my head. Whew! It's warmish in here, isn't it? I said. Just then, I heard a door open. It was Principal. He was coming out of his office, and I jumped up and down at his sight because I know that guy very good. Principal, look, it's me. It's Junie B. Jones. My mittens got stolen on the playground, and so Mrs. brought me here to get them. So just hand them over, and I will be on my way, no questions asked. Principal looked funny at me, and then he went to the closet and pulled out a big box. This is the lost and found, Junie B., he explained. Anytime someone finds something that's been lost, they bring it here, and we put it in this box. How come? I asked. How come they bring it here instead of taking it home? Because one time I found a nickel in the street, and Daddy said I could put it in my bank, because finding isn't the same thing as stealing. Right, Principal? Finding is a lucky duck. The principal laughed a little bit. Well, finding a nickel on the street is different, Junie B, he said. For one thing, it would almost be impossible to discover who the owner of the nickel really was. And for another thing, losing a nickel really isn't a big deal. But when somebody loses something personal, like mittens, for example, well, it's a very big deal. And so if someone else finds mittens, they can bring them to the lost and found, and the owner can get them back. He smiled. And that makes everyone happy, Junie B., he said. The owner is happy because she has her mittens back. The person who found them is happy because she's done a good deed. He pointed to a piece of paper taped on the box. See this? It's a poem the 3rd grade wrote about the lost and found. It says, "If you find stuff, bring it in. All day long, you'll wear a grin." I did a frown. Yeah, only here's the problem. I didn't lose my mittens. They got stoled on purpose. And so no one will bring them in and wear a grin, probably. Principal raised up his eyebrows. Well, you never know, Junie B. Why don't you look in there and see? He opened up the box for me. And that's when my eyes got big and wide because it was filled with the most wonderfulest items I ever saw. There were sweaters and sweatshirts and baseball caps and gloves and balls and a lunchbox and a scarf and sunglasses and a watch with Mickey Mouse on it. And there was a backpack that looked like a teddy bear. Oh, I always wanted one of these, I hollered really thrilled, and I put it on my back and I skipped all around the office. How does it look back there? I asked, and the principal runned after me. He took the teddy off my back and put it back in the box. We're looking for your mittens, remember? Just then I felt upset again because I almost forgot about those furry guys, that's why. Oh, yeah, my mittens, I said real glum, and I looked through the box some more. They're not here, I said. My mittens are gone forever and ever, I think. I did a sad sigh. Then I picked up the teddy backpack again. Maybe I will take this instead, I said, because this teddy backpack will ease my pain, I believe. The principal said no. How come? I asked, because the owner doesn't even want it anymore, I bet. Her mother already bought her a new teddy backpack, probably, and so this one is just going to go to waste. Principal stood me up and turned me to the door. That meant I'm leaving, I think. Come back again tomorrow and look for your mittens again, he said. I talked real fast. Yeah, only I just remembered something. I had to use a teddy backpack just like that one maybe, only then I lost it probably, and so I better take that one home with me or else my mother might be mad. Principal walked me to the door and he faced me down the hall. Goodbye, Junie B., he said, and I hanged my head real disappointed, because guess why? Goodbye means no teddy backpack. So that's the end of Chapter 4 in our Junie B. Jones books today. Let's talk about who was in the story, because there was just a few people. We had Junie B., of course, she's in every chapter. We also had Mrs., and there was 2 people in our story who were brand new today that we've never seen in a Junie B. Jones book before. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about who those 2 people were. All right, so those 2 people, who were they? The principal and the mean, grouchy typing lady in the office. Now, these people have not been talked about in the Junie B. Jones books that we've read yet. So the principal had a lot of words that he spoke, but the mean typing lady didn't say anything in our story today. She just kind of looked at Junie B. when Junie B. came in. But the principal talked a lot with Junie B. So let's talk about what happened in our story. Junie B. was so upset when she figured out that her mittens were missing. And so she was yelling and screaming and looking around, and who came over? Mrs. came over. And she brought her to the principal's office, and she said, "You're not in trouble. I'm not bringing you here because you're in trouble. I'm bringing you here so that you can look at the lost and found and see if somebody found your mittens." And so Junie B. Jones took a look in the box, with the help from principal, of course. And did she find her mittens? No, she didn't. But she did find something else that she wanted. I'll give you 5 seconds to think about what it was. she found a teddy backpack. And she said that she had always wanted a teddy backpack. Did the principal let her have it? No, because it didn't belong to her. The lost and found is for things that belong to you. So if you go in the lost and found and you don't see something that belongs to you, you don't take it. Just like when we had our lost and found tables out at the school. And so she went back to class and she was even doubly sad because not only did she not find her mittens, but she was not able to keep the teddy backpack either. So tomorrow we're going to read chapter 5 and we're going to find out what happens next. I really hope Junie B finds her mittens.